So now we need to start the car. She's alive. The VRC Formula Alpha 2023. This is the most complex and advanced F1 car I've ever seen, which also makes it the most complete. This car is so advanced to the point where there's a 23-page manual in terms of how to get the most out of it. Now, before we jump into that, down below, guys, there'll be a timestamp for basically those of you who don't really care about the details, you want to see the on-track action, skip to that part, and that should satisfy your needs. So we're going to have a quick browse of the menus here because this has a lot of detail. So, into the pit stop menu, we go over to Aero. Downforce level 0 is what I have on right now, but we've got downforce level 1, which increases and changes visibly the front and rear wing, and downforce level 2, which is max downforce on the rear wing. You can also change the nose type, which of course is also possible in the Racing Studio mod as well, so it's good to see this level of detail in these mods. And then you can adjust the front wing angles and also the rear wing gunny flap. I mean, if you look at the rear wing really closely, it's actually insane how even that is adjustable and actually visibly changes. You can change the dummy position, which is very small performance gain depending on the track you put it on one side or the other, but it really isn't that important. And then as for the setup, there is a level of detail here that is just too extreme for me. I mean, I don't really understand setups that well, but there is a lot here to, to sink your teeth into pretty much. And there's actually more stuff in the files, so you can make this car much more technical, much more realistic. If you're really passionate about those small details and really having the most realism possible, the most advanced features, this is what it's all about. And there's so much in this, literally every single tab. There's a few other visuals here. So one nice little bonus, which is not present in other mods, is the steering wheel. So in this case, we have the Aston Martin style wheel on the car. The 2022 Formula Alpha had the Alpine wheel, which is back again. We also have the Ferrari spec, and we have the Williams spec with the dash on the chassis. Of course, also able to turn the halo off if necessary, but this is a real nice detail that I think is a nice touch. We're going to run with the Ferrari wheel for this one. Now, if we observe the dash real quick, you can see there's a lot of information there. And to be fair, you won't actually need the on-screen elements that I have on screen right now. You can actually run without them. But just because I'm used to it and visually it's easier, I'm keeping them on screen right now. But you do have all the information you need on screen. Fuel, tyre pressures, battery level, DRS, deployment, position, lap time, everything. It's all there. Delta, lap counter, position counter, temps, you name it, it's all there. Anyway. Sound test, we're at Mugello, by the way, which is going to be, I think, the best possible test, and we're going to send it in a bit of a shakedown. Well, there we go. Very nice sound in the pits. Nice little kind of raspy note in the back end, which I like. A bit like the blown diffuser back in the day. So, first things first, we're going to go for a little sound test on the outlap. I've just moved the camera slightly higher so the visibility for the video is a bit better for you guys. I don't particularly enjoy cockpit view. And yeah, we're going to do a little sound check on this outlap, so let's enjoy it. There's a bit of a turbo whistle, so let's see. I really like some of these sound details. The raspiness is very nice. Also, I love the little hiss. It's almost like one of the LMP cars in terms of the way it sounds when it deploys. Anyway, let's get our first lap on the board. DRS now open, as you see the green light on the dash. Let's try and carry some speed. Tyres are cold, we're running a completely stock setup and tyres. So San Donato fourth gear through turn 1, and straight away, wow, we pay the price. Okay, we'll try that one again. We've now got a decent bit of tyre temp, so I've gone a bit more aggressive on the outlap, so the tyres are now a bit better temperature-wise, so the fronts are cooling off already because the straight's so long. Turn 1, San Donato, going to keep it in fourth. We're going to stay a bit tight this time. Back end snaps again there, just got to be mindful. Through turn 2 into turn 3, using lots of curb. They're relatively flat here, so you can definitely lean on those a little bit. Through the next left right, which is a bit quicker than the last one, so you can hold it in fifth and carry the speed. And now into a fast bit. I forget some of the corner names around here. I know this is the Arabiatas. Flat through there, yep, just about. Running a bit wide on the steer. Second one, easy flat. Scarperia, I believe this is. Into a downhill right, then into the left. Lots of grip through there. We can definitely lead on the right side. Lefts are getting a bit hot. Correntaio. Oh, we've got some understeer. The front left giving up because of the temperature. So already being challenged by this mod quite a fair bit. And there's other features as well, which we'll discuss in a minute, but I like this. This is already feeling challenging with a baseline setting. Oh my god, oh, another one. This car bites big time. This time we keep it on the track through Correntaio, just about. Oh, the left side tyres are absolutely screaming at me. Into Bacine. Final corner. Not sure to go for a wide entry or not. I've gone in early just to stay tight. We'll start to shave off lap time once we get the car set up dialed in. DRS open as we head up to the line. And there we go. So 21.9. That's the first benchmark, I guess. We'll go for some reference lap times in a bit. But let's shave off a bit of lap time, maybe some setup adjustments, and discussing further features. So one thing this mod has is the option of advanced physics in the file. So you can really level this up and make this really complex and really tough for yourself, and also very realistic. This is basically the plug in and play version. I've literally dropped the files in, default, and done nothing to them, and already you can see the challenge we have on our hands. Now I'm going to quickly go for one more flying lap with a bit more of a qualifying mode. So we're going to go for the C4 tyre, which is a step softer. We may struggle with temps on the left side, but I definitely don't want to touch a C5. The C5 is way too soft. So we'll go for a C4. Fuel, I'm going for 10 litres, which is more or less qualifying mode. Electronics, will dial those up nearer to the start of the lap, but we'll go max out. Aero, I've also kept the same except for the gurney flap, which I've actually just increased by 1. I'm actually going to go 1 higher on the front wing flaps as well, as we have a lot of corners. Brakes, slightly rearward to 55 for this one, and then the rest of the car I've kept the same because I don't fully understand how this all works. So I'm going to keep it stock because it feels pretty good as it is, so I don't want to mess anything up. So let's go for a full push lap, and then we'll do some other things. I can't lie, this thing now feels properly glued to the track, on rails. So tyres warmed up, we're going to crank up the engine mode. The highest we have available is high, so we'll go into that mode. We've also gone into motor on the MGOH. So here we go. Try to keep my front tyres a bit cool because we're going to pay the price for that later on. But this is it. Let's give it some beans and let's see what happens. Wide there. A bit wide at the apex again. Front left is screaming right now. Try and get the power down as soon as possible there, out the final corner. Up to the line. Just enough battery. And there we go. 17.9. Not bad at all. Pretty good fun. So now we are at Kyalami, the South African Grand Prix. Different car, different livery, and also I'm now using the advanced version. So this is more complex. Let me show you some features. Number one, manual steering wheel input. That's really awesome to see the animation take place. But now we're going to see some other features. As you can see at the top of the screen, press the extra A button to turn the ignition on, which can be found in the controls. Now, I don't have enough buttons on my wheel for this car. This car is so advanced, I have to use my keyboard for this, which isn't ideal. You'd love to have all the buttons on your wheel and basically all enabled. So for this one, I'm going to have to use a keyboard, which means if this works, hopefully, there we go. So we now have ignition on. So now we need to start the car. The ignition is on and the car is alive, but if I press the accelerator, nothing's happening. The brake is active, the clutch is active, but the accelerator is dead. So and now we have to start it. It says at the top of the screen, neutral and KERS override. So for this one, my KERS is the same button as I use for overtake in the F1 game. So she's alive. Right. Let's hit the track, shall we? Hopefully we don't stall it. Actually, let me show you. Let me anti-stall it. So there we go. I had no revs, engine kill, and anti-stall. So we have to go again. So hold down the KERS button. She starts up. Get the revs. As you can see, the little lights flickering. So the sweet spot. And away we go. Nice smooth pull away. Here we go then, onto the track at Kyalami. Now, one thing I want to note, I think this car sounds different to the other one. It could be my ears, but let's do a sound check. Now you tell me, does that sound different? Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm tripping. When I watch it back it sounds exactly the same, but I'm pretty sure it sounds different. That raspiness is a bit more exaggerated, that hiss is a bit more pronounced. But anyway, other features on this machine. So, strat modes, which of course is different to what we were using before. So as you can see, we've got MGUK delivery, strat 1 up to 8, and I love how even the screen updates. So yeah, strat 1. Obviously this is all in the instructions, so we'll go strat 1 for now. We then have MGUH mode disabled, so this is not available on this car unlike the previous one. So yeah, bear that in mind. We also get energy tracking every lap across the start finish line. So yeah, let's try and do a banker and let's see what we can do here. So down to turn 1, nice long straight DRS open tires are stone cold, so this is going to be a very tough first lap. I'm going to actually move the brake bar slightly to the rear once we get a chance. And that's actually 1 value at a time, not 0.5, so that's interesting. Got 0 temperature, so just trying to be mindful of the tyres. Merely just a banker lap to get something on the board, and then we'll start to go quick. Like Kyalami, man, also really good quality mod in terms of the circuit. This is normally flat, but we are not there yet, or nearly flat with a fully trimmed down setup. No idea what to break for this blind hairpin, even less in cockpit view. Easy on the exit. This, I would say, would be a DRS zone. Bit of a curved back straight. Hit 8th gear and then open the line back up for this 90-degree right. It's got no tyre temperature whatsoever, so we're definitely going to need the softs for this one. Oh no, that's usually flat, but not right now anyway. Final corner. First lap on the board. Scruffy lap, we'll take it. Okay, so 120.7. Definitely work to do. So let's strip it all down. Let's go full send and let's see how fast we can really go around here. Actually, before I do that, let me quickly get the car into anti-stall for you guys to see on track. So if we just go for a little spin, usually you hold the brake, that's what would happen, and then bang, anti-stall, engine kill. So you would go down to neutral again, restart with the MGUK, so hold it down, and then you're good to go. Now make sure to not stall again, so get the revs up, keep them high, 3,000 or more. First gear, flicker around, keep the revs going. Oh, that happens, anti-stall again, so I'm gonna run the sequence again. Like that. And there we go. So it has it all, man. I love it. Now for this car, the setup is a bit different. So we have electronics, which are slightly modified. So no NGK H modes. It's literally deployment strap. So again, based off what you're going to run, choose the correct one. I love how even the car has the glossy tires before they hit the track, which is a nice little detail. Now for this one, we are going to go for high downforce. We're going to put everything on the car because this is one of those tracks where besides the pit straight, you're going to need that wing. So we're going to really put the wang on and get it nice and fat. On this version, also, brake bias is not the sole feature. So as you can see, we have brake migration, ramp, brake magic. Incredible. So much detail. Brake migration is when obviously braking, as you go into the corner, the more brake you put on, the more it kind of goes towards the rear, so you can scale how much you want. The ramp in terms of how the brake pedal, you know, is going to travel and work. And then of course brake magic, which we all know from Lewis's famous incident. So it's really cool, man. There's so much, even on the diff as well, diff entry, mid, high speed, all that, it's all there. It's all in the notes in the manual as well. You can actually choose the RPM shift pattern, so different versions obviously depending on what you prefer. So that's really, really cool. Usually setups end on the pit stop strategy screen, but we've got more additional menus, all the strap modes, everything, deployment tuning. It's incredible. I mean, even this, you can change the steering wheel, so the dash can be modified based on your preference. Now then, this is going to be a full push lap. I've got the C4 tires on and I've also put on the exact same settings as the last session. I'm going to run strap mode 8 for this one, so I'm assuming, I will admit, a little bit ignorant, I haven't done my research properly, but I'm assuming that's full power. So let's get to it. Tires are a little bit cool, but that's okay. We're going to work them throughout the lap. So let's send it and let's go for a big push lap here. DRS open. And you also get your energy use, which is pretty cool. Not flat through, that's a shame. There we go then, 17.1. To be fair, unlike a Mugello, tyres are not getting worked here, so we could probably run a C5 in fairness. You can see no MGUH mode to turn the engine down, literally just down a strap mode 1, and that is it. Honestly, a lot of fun. I could probably sit here all day and drive this thing, I really could. Well, there we go, guys. That was it for today's video, showing off what I think is an incredibly high quality mod worth every single penny. This is what you pay money for certain mods. Trust me. Like the video, guys. Let's try and smash over 1,000 likes. I would massively appreciate it. Also, down below, guys, check out the mod. Link in the description down below for also the tracks, so go check those out. And yeah, just watching, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'm trying to reach 100,000 subs this year, and I can smell it. We're getting really close now. We're in the last 5,000, so if you want to help me get there any quicker, please subscribe to the channel. I would massively appreciate it. I do lots of assetto corsa content and lots of mod content, so check out my channel for more. And yeah, just watching, guys. As always, a big shout out to the channel members for supporting me every single time, and also shout out to you guys that have been tipping as well. Notice you guys in the comments. Big shout out to you lot for doing that as well. Finally, check out the 2 videos on screen, and yeah, guys, cheers for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, and let's go back from me.